awake so we can have a conversation tonight? Anyone awake so we can have a brief conversation, guys? Hello, hello. Anybody awake? Let's wait for people to turn up. Hello, my dear friends. Welcome to Francis Page Media. This live is a bit of a catch up on what went on during the Platinum Jubilee celebrations. Thank you so much, guys, for all of you who have been following up on these Platinum Jubilee messages here at Francis Page Media. I really appreciated every single one of you that showed up on my lives and commented on my video posts during the Platinum Jubilee celebrations. Hi, Rosanna. Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining this live. I'm very privileged and honored to have such a wonderful following and people who truly understand those values deeply embedded within our British royal family, and for all of you well-wishers that worked so hard to see that these Platinum Jubilee celebrations are a great success. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in here. If you have just joined, please let me remind you to subscribe to Francis Page Media and hit that subscribe button so that you are notified every time I post here on the channel. Our followership is growing, guys. Thank you so much for all the support. And excuse me for these late lives. I know that this time in the UK is round about bedtime, but elsewhere it's trying to find what time works so that these lives can be seen by, so the timings can be a bit fair for everyone. So guys, you're welcome to this live. We are going to just have a brief discussion about what really went on during the Platinum Jubilee celebrations, what moments were the highlights of the celebrations, and those other little bits and bobs that you might have missed seeing that I saw. And of course, just to wrap up with how we thought the whole celebrations went, and of course, those big lessons learned from the Platinum Jubilee celebrations. So if you're watching this live, please in the comment section, drop your name and tell us where you're from and where you're watching from. And also let us know what specific event of the Platinum Jubilee celebrations was more interesting to you and what you think should have happened, or if you're happy with what happened again, let us know how you found the whole Platinum Jubilee celebrations that we have just had recently. So I would say that they were successful, and they were watched by tons and tons of people from all over the world. So, as a person who was there live and who saw these events live, I should say that the environment was very ecstatic. It was brilliant to watch. People were very happy. People traveled from so many countries all over the world just to come and be part of the Platinum Jubilee celebrations. And these celebrations, the way they were planned in a way that every event that came after the other was even more interesting. And the highlight of these all events were those two balcony appearances. One, of course, which we were very much aware of on the Trooping of the Color, and the other balcony appearance for that surprise last minute show up of Queen Elizabeth on the Jubilee pageant. So, yes, we cannot complain, guys. We can't. So first off, let us have a discussion about the Trooping of the Color. How did you guys find the Trooping of the Color? I thought it was brilliant. And Prince William, Prince Charles, and all the senior royals, I think, did an awesome job. Of course, we did not have Her Majesty, the Queen, show up for the Trooping of the Color, but as you saw, she eventually showed up for the balcony appearance, which was great to see because obviously people were very, very much looking forward to seeing Her Majesty the Queen on that very day. So I think it was great that she finished it off with that spectacular appearance, of course, with the next line of leadership that was going to come after her. So Prince Charles, Camilla, William, Kate, the children who are very, very lovely and who have actually made a mark round about these Platinum Jubilee celebrations. Prince Louis, who stole the show right from day one, you know. But yeah, the Trooping of the Color I think was awesome, guys. It was really awesome, and the horses, and we had some issues with obviously some soldiers fainting, but that was expected because of the heat. And also, don't forget, these soldiers work so hard throughout the night to make these events successful. So on the day, we were expecting to see someone collapse somewhere somehow. So that was very, very normal. But what was great to see is the security and the whole arrangement and how things went on. And of course, our worry was some big stories coming up to steal that limelight away from Her Majesty the Queen. But guess what? None of that happened. Okay. So, of course, we know Prince Andrew was not part of these celebrations. I think he had COVID, so they put it down to COVID and he stayed away from the limelight. And then we had Meghan and Harry, of course, who also people thought were going to steal the show. But I think they did their best to keep them where they were supposed to be. So I don't think we had any major interruptions, and I think everything went as we really surely wanted them to go. Okay, so I think the Trooping of the Color was such a great opening of all these events that came up after. Okay, and let us not forget that spectacular fly past that happened at around 1:30, coming to 2 o'clock in the afternoon, a little bit late, but hey ho, it was the perfect timing because getting into Buckingham Palace was a nightmare, So the roads were all diverted, and it's so many people. The police was stopping people from coming further in, and so it was really, really difficult to get closer to get to see the fly past directly at from that main opening of Buckingham Palace. So wherever we could get chance to stand, I was very lucky to be on the eastern side of the palace. So again, it was a big opening, and I could have great eyes on for the fly past. Okay, and I also had the opportunity to see the royals driving out of Buckingham Palace on their way to the Guildhall for lunch. Okay, so it was fantastic, guys. We cannot complain. Tell us in the comments if you were following up on these events, guys. Did you enjoy the Trooping of the Color? Did you enjoy Queen Elizabeth showing up at the balcony waving at us? I think it was a spectacular moment, and crowds came in thousands. Thousands. Queen Elizabeth could not have been more happier than she was on the day, especially when she turned up at that balcony and saw the amount of people who had turned up to come and see her. Okay. Hi, Lily. Yes, thank you so much, Lily. It was amazing. I think really, really great. I don't think we shall see. Yes, great history in the making, isn't it? I don't think we shall see any other day better than what we saw. No, it was incredible. A once in lifetime opportunity. And for us who were there to witness this live, not on the screen, not reading in the newspapers or looking at videos online, but live. Those of us who were there live, I think it was a whole different experience. But, okay, wherever you watched these events from, the truth still remains we had such a fantastic platinum jubilee celebrations. Now, straight from the trooping of the color, of course, we had the fly past. The fly past was spectacular. The intelligence, the skill set, the RAF, or call it these flight captains had, was so great. And yes, Lily, I completely agree with you on that. The experience, of seeing these planes fly over Buckingham Palace and the red arrows and everything was great, spectacular scenes these were. So yes. Thank you, Elaine. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed the Platinum Jubilee celebrations, Elaine. Did you watch? Did you follow up on the events closely? Did you find any specific event interesting, more interesting than the other, Elaine? I thought all events were really, really great, especially that grand opening, the platinum. I'm sorry, the trooping of the color. I think that set the pace for the rest of these other events. It's sad that the Queen didn't show up for the Thanksgiving service, but she was watching in her own comfort back at home in the palace, and she was very happy with how the whole proceedings were conducted and how the royals turned up, looking smart, great, glamorous, and also. How people paid tribute to her in huge numbers outside St. Paul's Cathedral. So that was day 2. Elaine, yes, Canada. Yes, oh my God, that Paddington Bear. But isn't our queen very, very great? Isn't she great? She's not only a great actor, she's humorous, she's a great leader, she's got compassion, she's everything. That's why I'm saying it's going to take us a long, long time to find somebody like her. Okay. So she wasn't alive on some of these events. Hi, Andre. Great to see you. Yes. Thank you so much for showing up. You nearly missed this one, Andre. Elaine, yes, amazing. Amazing scenes for the Platinum Jubilee. And I think we are all going to live to talk about these events, I think, forever. Okay. So the St. Paul's Cathedral, I think that was day 2 on Friday the 3rd. Okay. So it was a shame that the Queen did not turn up for that event, but we were all very lenient with her, especially. Thank you so much, Elaine. Thank you. By the way, do you know those responses are very empowering? That's what keeps me going. So I really, really appreciate your kindness, guys. Thank you so much, Elaine. I hope you're having a wonderful evening. Um, yes, so we all sympathized with Queen Elizabeth for not turning up for the Thanksgiving service because, of course, the day before, she must have got extremely shattered and exhausted. Even if she just turned up for the balcony appearance at the end of the Trooping of the Color, many think, ooh, how could she just get tired just by turning up? There is a lot of work behind the scenes that she had to do, a lot. So there would be visitors who couldn't make the ceremony, and so most of these from abroad would then show up via video link, showing up showing their support to Her Majesty, and all those well wishes. So she would have been in the background, maybe responding to these messages, going on video link with some special guests who wanted to deliver their messages on video and all that stuff. So she was doing a lot behind the scenes. Okay. So on Friday, for her to make that conscious decision not to show up for her own Thanksgiving, it must have been a difficult decision for her that she made. But again, one which was the right decision, because obviously we knew. Oh, yes, yes. Yeah, that was like a treat, a gift to so many people. And some people actually thought she wasn't going to turn up even for that balcony appearance. But like I told you guys, the Paddington Bear was great. It was great. But what I told you guys, that Queen Elizabeth is a queen of so many surprises. Okay, she loves giving people surprises and she keeps people guessing. Probably that's the reason why people love her so much, and that's the reason why people will never get enough of her, because she keeps people guessing. She likes surprising people. She never gives away too much. Okay, so she leaves people wondering what is coming next. That is the sort of leadership she has been protruding, she's been giving us for all these years, even up to now, that she's 70 years on the throne, but we are still thinking, what is coming next? What is she going to present to us next? What is this? What is she doing now? She goes missing for a few days, a few weeks, and then boom, she pops back up again with something spectacular. So that is the Queen Elizabeth we are talking about. And throughout the Platinum Jubilee celebrations, we have seen these behaviors, the typical Queen Elizabeth behavior, with how she has been presenting herself here and there on certain events and absent on some events, keeping us guessing, is she going to turn up on this one? Okay, but also, I think for Queen Elizabeth, this Platinum Jubilee has been a chance for her to closely look at her senior royals to see how they were going to manage these events. Okay. And you guys who are here on this live watching, you can bear me witness that our senior royals did such an awesome job. Okay, right from Princess Anne down to Prince Edward. Okay, Sophie, Prince William, Prince Charles, Camilla. Okay, even the royal children, everyone within the leadership of the royal family worked so hard to make this event a success. Okay, so the Queen must have been extremely proud of her A team. Very, very proud. Okay. Yes. Yeah, my family is actually here, Elaine. And sorry, my mom passed away some time back. But I always think about her, and she's still very much with us here. And she really, really loved those days I was in the army because she knew that is what I wanted to do. And I used to tell her these stories of Queen Elizabeth, of course. And she so much wanted to meet her one day, but sadly she couldn't because she had some health issues, and yeah, she couldn't stay longer to experience those good moments. But thank you so much, Elaine, for asking. That is really, really kind of you. Thank you. Yeah, so back to the Platinum Jubilee, guys. Yes, yes, yeah. Thank you, Andres. Thank you. Yeah. Um, we hope she's in heaven somewhere, and yeah, keeping our place for us. Yeah. It's very emotional losing a mom, isn't it? And of course that's why when I see Queen Elizabeth and I see Prince Charles William and the way they behave around you know Prince Charles and Princess Anne and Edward, the way they behave around their mother, I'm like, oh God, everyone needed to have their mother around. And how Prince Charles calls the Queen mommy, that was very funny, but it's a very posh way of calling our mothers, isn't it? But I loved it. I think we could see a connection between the royal family and us. This platinum jubilee has actually allowed us to see that the royal family is very much a normal family, just like us, guys. Okay. Um. So I don't know if you guys watched the last event. I think that was it's platinum, the pageant, jubilee pageant. I think you saw how Catherine, William, and the children had a bit. Louis gave them a bit of a hard time, and then we could see Catherine talking to William to request granddad, that's Prince Charles, to have Louis for them for a bit so that Catherine could have a bit of a rest. And that reminds me of how we deal with young children within our families. You always have the young ones who are playful, who are hard to manage, and there is always someone who we know we rely on to better manage that behavior at some point. So this is what we saw, and it was very, very touching to see that even within the royal family, you would think they have mechanisms to manage that. You would have people, nannies, everybody who would street, okay, right, here we go, da da da. The children are left here to be dealt with and all that. But it was great to see that they came with those children, to see the children playful, to see the behavior of their young ones, the young royals, similar to the behaviors of an everyday child. And I think that was a very good lesson and something we very much look at and see that these royalties are also people like us. They go through the same troubles and all that stuff. So this was a jubilee of so many things to learn from. Okay. We learned that the queen is always going to be the greatest. She's going to be so much loved, and she's very loved, as you saw. Okay, yeah, and we also learned that, of course, the queen very much showed the rest of the world who the next line of leadership is going to be, and she was really, really very, very very subtle in presenting this message, but she was also very firm in the way she wanted just those people she turned up with at the balcony to turn up on that day. And that was a message for her that these are the ones I trust. These are the ones that are going to be there after me. And I'm very happy with how things are. That was the message Queen Elizabeth was sending to us on the Platinum Jubilee Day. Okay, so for the first balcony appearance on the Trooping of the Colour, of course, we saw all the senior royals showing up on that balcony. Princess Anne, Prince Edward, Sophie, we saw, there's Princess Anne's husband and, their children. So we saw all the senior royals for the Trooping of the Colour, that balcony appearance on Thursday. But again, we saw a different set of senior royals showing up for that final balcony appearance with the Queen. And I think that the first appearance was a reward for the senior workers. They were rewarding the senior royals for the incredible work. So they all came to have a show at the balcony together with the Queen. But the last one, I think, and 100% was the Queen's message being sent to us that these are the next line of leadership. And Queen of Heaven. Yes, Rosie. Yeah, absolutely, without a doubt. Without a doubt. So that last balcony appearance of Prince Charles, Prince William on the sides of Queen Elizabeth, of course you had Camilla here and you had Catherine and the children. That was the Queen telling us, right, this is the next line of leadership. This is what I am leaving in place. These are going to be the decision makers. And these are people I certify firmly before I go. I think that was the message. Yes, absolutely. That was the message she was sending out with that last balcony appearance. Don't forget, for the first one, of course, they turned up as senior royals. So I thought, she sat back and thought, right, I really need to unveil a different set of leadership from that I've already unveiled for the first balcony appearance. That's where I'm saying the first balcony appearance was to reward the senior royals for their work, and the second one was to show us that yes, this is the next line of leadership. These are the ones I trust. These are the decision makers going forward, and please listen to these ones. So we are very blessed. We are very blessed that we are very blessed that we were there to witness, or this Jubilee came up, when Her Majesty was still fit and healthy and able to show us whatever she did. Okay, whatever she did on these Jubilee days. The other message the family sent out through these Platinum Jubilee celebrations is that nobody goes against the royal family values and goes unpunished in one way or the other. I think you will agree with me that Meghan and Harry were treated to a different kind of welcome this time round. Okay, I think for Meghan and for Harry, this visit or this attendance of these ceremonies has been the hardest for them. And the environment for them was very, very, very different from what they used to experience back those days before they left. This was very different. So you had people looking at them as, right, how could you do this to your family? So for the population, for the fans, royal fans here, it seemed like it was payback time. with their eyes, looking at Meghan and Harry walking, especially through those corridors of St. Paul's Cathedral. And on that staircase going up, the steps going into a church, I was there live, and I can tell you that the environment was very different. The environment they walked in was very different from the environment they knew back in the days. People were very cold. People are very cold for these two people, and I think you would sympathize with people's behavior against the Harris this time. Yes, the Harris this time, because whatever they did to the royal family wasn't particularly good. So you would expect that sort of audience when you're here. So that walk in St. Paul's Cathedral and the welcome they received seemed like a payback time for people. And they were like, right, look at these two. Do they even know the damage they were causing? Do they? So the Platinum Jubilee again taught us that nobody does, nobody goes against the family's values that goes unpunished in one way or the other. People were very, very, very angry with what H&M did. Okay, so you would sympathize with the public the way they treated H&M, but also you would see the isolation that was exposed to these two was like no other. So there was a Jubilee lunch, like we all saw. There was a Jubilee lunch for all the royal family members after St. Paul's Cathedral's Thanksgiving service. All the royal family members headed straight to Guildhall for that royal lunch. Meghan and Harry were not invited to that lunch, so they headed straight back to Frogmore Cottage. So that is very telling. That is very telling, because how could they really miss to go and have that family lunch together with other royals? So that shows us that really they were being treated very, very differently from how they used to. And I think this also comes down to trust issues, and so can we trust them on those very, very family moments and those very family conversations? We can't trust them. Okay. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think wherever you're watching these celebrations in United States, I think you, my dear friend, can agree with me that um, you were not surprised when Harry and Meghan got that sort of treatment when they came here, because these incidences, the interviews and all those things that they did are still very, very raw on people's hearts. They have only just happened recently. And here is the Platinum Jubilee. People celebrating Her Majesty the Queen, the success of the British monarchy, the incredible achievements of senior royals and everybody. And then you're having people, then people are having to look at somebody or Meghan and Harry who caused that harm walking in front of them on these special days here. Definitely you're going to get people booing. You're going to get people who are still very angry, with what H&M did. So this was a very, very hard environment for Meghan and Harry. And I think that is the reason they had even to leave early, because the isolation was so much. Okay, so apart from showing up at the at St. Paul's Cathedral for the Thanksgiving service, I think we didn't see them anywhere else apart from them appearing briefly um, um, I think this was an image. I think it was a video captured when they were in Buckingham Palace, but right at the back with the royal children, and they didn't come to the balcony. So there was a bit of slip up where Meghan got showed there. But I think that was the other only appearance that we got to see of the two. So this Platinum Jubilee has really exposed, it has exposed the anger that is still very much here within the British public for these two royals, for the damage they caused. Okay. And for us who watched these events, we were wondering if really these two can get back in and work with the royal family like they did before, because I can't see that happening now. If it didn't happen here, because this could have been the chance for those conversations to take place, people to sit down. But again, like I said earlier, trust issues here. What do you say in front of these two that might not come out in interviews and all that side and all that stuff? And more so coming up in interviews in a different version. Okay. So yes, so the royal family was very careful not to integrate H&M in many of these gatherings. You can see in St. Paul's Cathedral, the rest of the royal family sat on the right hand side, and others sat on the left hand side, and this is where the Meghan and Harry sat together with the rest of the others, not even on the front seat, but somewhere on the third row, I think, second or third row. So that is very telling again, very, very telling of how how the royal family hasn't got Meghan and Harry in their future plans. Now, the last, which would be the closing ceremony, that is the Jubilee pageant, which was there on Sunday. That happened in Harry's absence, and Meghan, I think they decided to go even before that took place. Because again, although they had tickets and also although they had been invited to attend, still their seats were going to be somewhere different from the royal box. So they were not going to sit in the royal box with the rest of the royals. And I think for Meghan and Harry, they thought, this is it. We can't sit there with others. If we can't be in the royal box, that's it. We would rather go back to United States. So that brings us to that other question, my dear friend. I don't know who asked that. Was it you, Andre, or was it you, Karen? Somebody asked there, said that I wonder what, let me see if I can pull that comment back. Was it Elaine? Was it Becky? Someone said, I wonder what Meghan and Harry are going to do next. That is a very good question, because I'm also here wondering what indeed these two are going to do next. Okay. Shall we ever see them back in the UK? Of course, we know that there are other ceremonies that are due. Again, I think celebrating Princess Diana's life and all those other events are coming up in the next coming few months, or I think in a year's time. Yes, talk about that, Elaine. That book. I wonder, I think this also brings us back to that question, what are they going to do next? Could they be waiting? Could this behavior and the coldness, could it be something that is happening because they are going to say stuff in that upcoming book that, so they don't want to be hypocritic here, they want to be cold already, so that when that stuff comes out, then they people will know, will tell, so that's the reason they were unhappy when they came down here. So we don't know. Okay, we can only wait and see. Okay. Yes, Becky, yes, you could actually say that because can we trust? Can anybody trust what they say now? Okay. Can there be any trust in what they say? Of course, we know all these other deals, Netflix deals that have that they signed on, and some did not take place. They are pulling out in certain deals, and there's too much they are taking on, but then with little knowledge and know-how on how to go into these business arrangements, and then I wouldn't love to be in their shoes, I'm telling you. But this platinum jubilee here allowed us to see that there is still that big gap. There is still that big gap between Meghan and Harry and the rest of the royal family. And I don't think that feud is going to be sorted out anytime soon. I think, if at all, it's only getting bigger. And these Platinum Jubilee celebrations exacerbated that feud. I think it's going to make it even more bigger, because I think the treatment these two received when they came back here was enough to tell you that we can still operate even without you. It was enough to show them that even without you, royal activities, the royal family, the royal ambitions will still go and get on successfully. That is what we saw here. The balcony appearances, where we just had those senior royals and, and not Meghan and Harry. That was very telling of, right, I think they have completely pulled the H&Ms out of the royal family's future plans. But I think it's all to do with what happened in these interviews. Okay, yeah, absolutely, Becky. You are very, very right. Okay, it's very, very good to see that even you Americans there are seeing these things and you're making these fine assessments, because who dishes their family in the way they did? Okay. But it's very, very important in this days, time, season, period we are going through, for Her Majesty to be having the best time ever, to be having love, kindness, to be showed all the respect she can have, Queen Elizabeth, in the world. So it's very disappointing to see that whatever they did, the H&M did, okay, was actually disrespecting the Queen, putting her under more stress. She had lost her dear husband. She was going through COVID, all those problems. Then add this flustering of family, these racial allegations, all that stuff. Or they don't look after me. Add all that stuff onto it. Okay, so you would actually sympathize with people for behaving the way they are towards Meghan and Harry. Okay. But again, the Platinum Jubilee allowed us to see this, okay? And from the royalists' point of view, I think they want Meghan and Harry to be kept out of the royal family moving forward, because I think the more they get involved, the more feuds will come up, the more problems, the more. So I think it is better that they do their own thing and the royal family does its own thing. But again, keep inviting them as regular visitors on these events. But again, of course, Harry is very much a part of the royal family in being Prince Charles's son. Meghan is very much a part of the family in being the mother of Harry's children. So there will always be that support for the Sussexes. Okay, but when it comes to carrying on with royal duties and putting them in key positions that are supposed to embrace these royal principles and all that, I think it is very wise to keep these two out of the picture. And you will all agree with me, my dear friends. But going away from Meghan and Harry, why not again look at Catherine on this event? I think Catherine was a star, a star of the Platinum Jubilee events. The way she again carried herself, okay, the way she dressed up for the entire occasion throughout the Platinum Jubilee celebrations, the way she had to deal with her children, who, especially Prince Louis, who was very stubborn, okay. Well, yeah. Well, at least the thing with the Megans is that they are very predictable. They are you always know what they might be planning to do next. So whatever they do, I think people won't be very surprised. But again, people already know what they are and what they are capable of doing. So I think we can only hold onto that, knowing that yes, they could just anytime they could pop up and say this, do that. Don't get me wrong, there we still had elements of fans here who loved them, who it was great to see them around. I was also happy that they showed up for the Thanksgiving service, okay. And I was very, very happy that they kept such a low key, because what we did not want was someone to come and overshadow Her Majesty's Platinum Jubilee. I was very happy that they actually, for the first time, for the first time, did the needful, and that was to stay out of those, spotlights that we're going to take Her Majesty's big day, overshadow Her Majesty's big day, because that they really did so well. But again, when we look back at what they did previously, and and the no apologies and the no wanting to resolve these issues, we can sit here and make a conclusion that maybe they are supposed to be doing different things. And Harry has always said this with pride, that me and my brother are walking different paths. Okay. Yeah, yeah, Angela, yeah, you're very right. You're very right. But kudos to Catherine for keeping her keeping her cool, because don't forget there was a lot going on between Catherine and Meghan, and Catherine should be sat there also having those having those memories of the interviews playing in her memory. But she is a very reserved person. Catherine is. She's very, very reserved, and the way she deals with things is very different. So with Catherine, you get someone who completely ignores and looks away if she's not happy with things. She'll make sure she makes no eye contact, and I think that was the trick for managing through these events, especially when Meghan was around. So you could see that they kept no eye contact at all, even during the service at St. Paul's Cathedral. Okay, so she dealt it with such grace. She did what she always does best, and that is to stay in her lane. She showed up very glamorously. She was very, very, very pretty on the day, wearing yellow, and I think that color on the Thanksgiving was very um, was was very sentimental in paying great tribute to Her Majesty, because she knows Her Majesty loves color yellow. She knows that, but also um, Queen Elizabeth has worn that color on so many occasions, and big occasions, one of them being her 90th birthday. She wore that on, I think it was at the wedding, William and Kate's wedding. She wore that yellow outfit. And for Catherine, I think it was paying tribute to Her Majesty through wearing what Her Majesty really loves wearing. And thank God that the theme, um, yes, yeah, thank you so much, Angela. I really appreciate that. And thank God that the theme for the Platinum Jubilee celebrations, and most importantly, the Thanksgiving service, was that all senior royals would be wearing bright colors. So we saw Catherine wearing that yellow, fantastic, fabulous she looked. And the way she matched that with that hat, I thought she really did a great job. She has a great choice of outfits, Catherine has. So she added a personal touch to that. And I think that was, again, Emilia Wickstead, who designed that outfit. Um, Again, Emilia is always designing those sentimental outfits for most of these senior royals. I think she also designed Sophie's dress, the one she wore for the garden party, Buckingham Palace garden party. But they all looked amazing. Zara, I think, was in pink. Princess Royal Anne in her famous, I think, light blue, purplish kind of. Yes, but Catherine in particular showed up wearing this yellow outfit, and she looked like a real queen in waiting. She did. She looked absolutely stunning on the day. And because of that strikiness she had on, that was just enough to silence all the bad intentions of Meghan and everything. Okay, on the day. So she has a very subtle way of coming across, and shining and showing people that I am a very strong woman, ready to take on all these challenges. But also, most importantly, I am ready to be the future queen consort. And we have seen her day in, day out, supporting her husband, Prince William, in making decisions, supporting Queen Elizabeth, and especially those days the Queen was not feeling very well. So Catherine, Countess Sophie would be those two amazing women who spend a lot of time with Her Majesty the Queen, of course, with the exception of Princess Royal Anne as well. So it was great to see that Catherine was very successful in showing up the way she did, very glamorous, very elegant. She never puts a toe beyond that line. She never outshines anybody. When you look at all the balcony appearances, you can see a figure in Catherine who was always coming in on the sides, stepping aside, not wanting to interfere, you would see somebody who was always drawing those lines, knowing that, okay, my husband is the king. He goes here, he stands here, he goes here first, he does that first. Okay, and we could say the same to the Duchess of Cornwall, Camilla, who also, by the way, worked so hard throughout the old Jubilee celebrations. Okay, So let's not forget that Prince Charles was standing in for the Queen on numerous occasions, and there Camilla was as well. Okay. Yes, and that's the thing with Catherine. Thank you for highlighting that. You know, she's not just beautiful from the outside, but also inside. In the way she, you know, you can always look at somebody and tell. And this was a good one here with the children. The way she dealt with the children in that atmosphere and still keeping her calm, I think was very telling of what sort of person she is. Even you know, behind cameras. Okay. But I think they work well as a unit. They do. Because the way they communicate with William, they are very supportive of each other. And Prince Charles, on this occasion, was very supportive. They worked together as family, especially that last ceremony. We could see Louis being passed on to Prince Charles, and Prince Charles carried Louis throughout the entire occasion on his lap. Okay, so those were gestures that this family is very much a strong unit, very supportive of each other. Okay. Yeah, you know, yes. So, guys, thank you so much. I'm loving these conversations here. I am really loving this conversation. And please, guys, in the comment section, please tell us what you think about uh, Meghan and Harry moving forward. Do you think they still have a role to play in the moving forward of the British monarchy? Because I don't think they do. They have already marked their place somewhere. They've already time and time uh, said this on camera, wherever Prince Harry saying America is now my new home. That statement there is very telling of somebody who has already made up his mind, come rain or shine, that his home is elsewhere. So when they get that treatment, when they come here in the UK and they receive that kind of treatment, which is close to actually being isolated, you will understand where the British monarchy is coming from. Okay. Somebody who said that I was trapped, my brother is trapped. Those are very big statements to make, very big statements, and it's not as simple as getting a rubber and erase those words. It's not as easy as that. Once there are statements that people will always make, and those statements will stay there. And that's where trust issues also come in now. Okay, thank you so much, Elaine. Thank you, Angela. Thank you, Becky. Truly appreciate your conversations tonight. Okay, so when you look at those assertions of whether they were right, you know, I felt trapped. My brother is trapped. My dad got this sort of upbringing. When you look at those statements, they are not statements that are going to be easily erased or rubbed with a rubber. It's not like you're writing with a pencil and you rub things and say, let's forget and move on. It will be very hard. And you will sympathize and you will realize that the way they were treated here, those statements are still ringing a bell in these senior royals. Because don't forget, they were senior royals who were being talked about. People who were in leadership, people who are going to become next kings. So for you to say that they are trapped or they are not happy doing a job they are doing right now is very damaging, very, very damaging. So when you see how William is very cold, very when it comes to those interactions with his brother, you will actually see that he's right to feel like that. and it is not something that they're going to just sit in the room and discuss and get and say, right, that we are back to where we were before. It's never gonna be that easy. So that's why I thought, for me, I think it's a done deal. Harry has taken that path. That's it. William, Charles, they have to continue the path they are on, and that is leading the monarchy forward into even more greater times. Yeah, thank you so much, Andre. I love you too, guys. I really do. And I'm so honored that we can sit here and have these conversations, because for us royalists, like all of you guys, we think our royal family offers that space for us that even politicians or these other leaders in governments will never offer to us, because of their mistrust and so much chaos going on in those offices and the corruption and all that. So for us royalists, we are looking at our royal family as what is offering us that space to come down and actually look at this sort of, you know, so if you take the royal family out of the equation, take the queen out of the way, I think this whole world will lose. We won't be as happy as we are. We enjoy seeing our queen. We enjoy seeing our Catherine. We enjoy the work of the royal family, the activities, the charities, the patronages that they support. All of these communities are thriving on the royal family activities. Okay. Achievements people are getting, those who are coming to get their MBEs or BEs and all that, they are being inspired by the work of the royal family. Okay. And for us as royalists, if somebody comes and wants to destroy something that we really want, we are always going to look at them as really dangerous. And I think that is why people are treating Meghan and Harry the way they are, because we are looking at people who want to come and disintegrate or distort or stop. You know, we are now looking at them in that sense. Okay. But nobody goes against the royal family's values will go unpunished in one way or the other. I think this is going to be a good lesson for the H&Ms, that, you know, they are nobodies without the royal family. They are totally nobodies. And this showed them that the activities still went on, and they would have gone on even if they hadn't set their foot here. I'm telling you, these activities would still have gone on successfully. So again, let's go back to our assessments of these other senior royals. Camilla, okay, I think she really did so well as well on the day. And she actually is one other royal that showed up on every event. She was in front of cameras from day one. And it's great to see that she's now having a good relationship with Prince William. Okay. Actually, Angela, you could say that, because we didn't see them, and we are not actually very sure if the Queen met Lilibet. We are not very sure, because on Saturday apparently was Lilibet's birthday, turning 1. And we heard that the Queen initially had freed up some space to go and attend this small occasion, Lily's birthday. But again, we heard that the Queen did not go. So there are still questions here, big questions. And like I said before, it's very hard to trust what these two say. Okay, it's very hard to trust them, because we had all the rest of the royal family members are away as well, doing, you know, catching up with these other events in Wales, in Scotland. Princess Royal Anne went, William and Kate were in Wales together with their children and all that. So if there was going to be a birthday, we would expect at least children to be on this birthday. We would expect maybe the Prince George, the Charlottes, the Louis, and the rest of them to be on this birthday. But we saw these children travel together with their mom and dad to Wales, and that makes us wonder who attended that birthday. So, but of course, these things will come out. They will come out as time goes on. We will get to know about them. And yes, whatever is done in the dark always come back in the light. So we will get to know about this. Yes. Becky, we shall soon find out. I'm telling you. We shall soon find out. First and foremost, the Queen wasn't consulted before Lilibet was going to be named Her Majesty the Queen's name. But again, here we are 1 year down the road. She's even never met this person who calls this baby that was named after her. So it's very, very telling. It's very surprising that that can even happen a year. Okay. So when they flew here privately a few months back on their way to the Invictus Games, you'd imagine maybe they would have used that as an opportunity to bring in the little baby, you know, when things were a bit calmer, cool. But then how do you expect to bring the babies now with such a packed schedule that Queen Elizabeth has, and expect her to find time to spend with these children on her big days with all these guests around? Very, very bad timing. Okay. I don't know, but what do you guys think? Okay. But moving forward, guys, before I end this live, I think the royal family is moving forward in a positive direction, and we saw this by these Platinum Jubilee celebrations. Okay. Um, hi Angela, great to see you. And we are also very positive that the Queen is happy with the next line of leadership she has left in place. Of course, she showed this to us in that last balcony appearance where she unveiled the next line of leadership in Charles and William. Okay, so again, that is one big revelation that the Platinum Jubilee unveiled to us. And then we also saw the next line of the young generation within the royal family. Of course, you saw the Prince George looking smart, sharp, Charlotte, Prince Louis growing. He's looking as handsome as always. Looks like the Queen actually. And we were able to see, okay, Zara's, Sophie's, children, and all, Princess Eugenie, Beatrice. So the royal family is moving in a positive direction. Okay. And then we were able to also see that they are united against the two who wants to destroy the royal family. So you could see, I think, throughout the whole celebrations, it was only Zara who actually spoke with Harry, and I think this was by the St. Paul's Cathedral, nearly at the end before those departures. I think it was only Zara who spoke to the Harry and Meghan's. I never saw any other royal that actually had an interaction with, any interaction with Meghan's. And you could see Zara's husband, is that Tind or whatever his name is, you could see that he was also stood there and he never wanted to speak to Harry, because I think everybody knew, we have to be very careful here with what we talk with these two, because we don't know where these words are going to be ending up. So the royal family here, through these events, was able to show us that they are very united against, they are a united front against Meghan and Harry, who are seen as a threat to the the success of the monarchy going forward. Okay. And for us royalists here, we took all these lessons and we knew that nobody, or we were able to see that nobody goes against the royal family will win. Nobody will win. Those values are here. They have to be respected. Her Majesty the Queen is great. She's loved. Whoever talks here about her and all that stuff is definitely going to be seen as a threat, or, so there you go. But we had an excellent Platinum Jubilee celebrations, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching. I have posted a few of those videos that I captured live at St. Paul's Cathedral, Buckingham Palace. Please, if you get an opportunity, pop by and just click on them and see. You might find something of interest that you might have missed with these other live coverages. And yes, please carry on showing up on my lives. And I have an upcoming live on Wednesday or Thursday. I'll post this, where we are just going to look at the next line of direction our royal family is going to take, and what is coming up again for Queen Elizabeth, and the next course of action for Prince William going forward with Catherine, and how these duties are going to be, distributed between our royals. What is going to be the next country of destination for the royal visits? And yes, but also we are also very much looking forward to what again the Harrys and Meghans are going to come up with back in the United States. Are they going to say something? Okay. So yes, so ladies, thank you so much for showing up here tonight. I've enjoyed your conversations. Okay. And yes, let us carry on spreading these messages. I do appreciate every single one of you, Angela, Karen, Andre, and Lily, and everybody who has been on this live. Becky, thank you guys so much. Yes, stay safe, guys, and good night, all of you. Let us catch up again on Wednesday, so we can, I think by then, more conversations would have come up. We would have heard from the Meghan's and Harry's next course of actions and all that. And then we can always have these conversations here. Okay, so I will say good night for now, guys, and thank you so much again. Bye bye, guys. Bye.